Yes, family, Easy's back again. Yeah, and this is gonna be the continuation. Last episode I done about the um neurons and everything. Yeah, the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. Yeah, so I'm gonna carry on pushing more forward. Yeah, because we're gonna break down and we're gonna talk about mental health. Yeah, so now this is gonna be the introduction of how your brain develop and the different parts of your brain. Yeah, so Easy's gonna do what he does. He's gonna break it all down and then show the diagrams, and we start from there. Yeah, so we're gonna go straight into the embroid. Yeah, the embroid is where the first form of your brain starts to develop in the womb. Yeah, and I'm gonna be drawing it out for you and show where we go from there. Yeah, so shout out to everyone in the live. Easy's gonna break down a lot of information, so get your notepad and start writing down. Yeah, so what I'm gonna draw out right now is called, yeah, you can see, yeah, this is what you call the neuron tube. Yeah, so this is the first development of your brain and your spinal cord and everything, yeah, in your mum's womb, yeah, or in the belly. Yeah, so this is how it's called, a neuron tube. Yeah, and then what happens is, that's the first stage. Yeah, let me just write it down for you. Neural tube. Bam. Yeah, alright. Yeah, so the next stage your brain gets to is called, there's 3 sections that your brain starts developing from the neural tube. Yeah, this last section here is what you call the your spinal cord. Yeah, the first section here is called prosencephalon. Yeah, prosencephalon. Then you got the mesencephalon. Yeah, so prosencephalon, mesencephalon, and the last bit is called rhumbencephalon. Yeah, this is how your brain starts to develop in your belly. Yeah, in the mumsy's belly. Yeah, the front lobe is the prosencephalon, the middle mesencephalon, the back is rhumbencephalon. Yeah, another terms of that is called the forebrain, the midbrain, and the hindbrain. Yeah, let me write that down. Hindbrain. These are another terms of what it's called. Yeah, but the terms are called prosencephalon, mesencephalon, and rhumbencephalon. Yeah, forebrain, midbrain, and hindbrain. Yeah, so let's move on to the 5th week, yeah, of your brain development in the womb, in the belly. Yeah, because it breaks off into the three lobes, turns into 5 lobes. Yeah, so I'm gonna draw it out for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, a lot of information here, a lot of terminologies. Yeah, so now, yeah, obviously the prosencephalon breaks into 2 parts here, which is called the telencephalon. Yeah, telencephalon, which is the first part. Yeah, I'll break it all down. The second part is what you called the diencephalon. Yeah, the diencephalon. Yeah, the second part. Yeah, the mesencephalon stays the same. Yeah, so the mesencephalon stays the same. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so the prosencephalon turns into the diencephalon and the telencephalon. The mesencephalon stays the same. The rhumbencephalon breaks into 2 parts again, which is called the metencephalon. metencephalon, and then you got the last, which is called the myelencephalon. Yeah, this is in like the 5th week of the development of your neural tube, yeah, in your mum's stomach. Yeah, you see it clearly. That's 3 parts, and like I said before, this is what you call the spinal cord. Yeah, so that runs through your back, yeah, your central nervous system. So this is how your brain develops in your mum's stomach. Yeah, so now we're gonna push on. Yeah, we're gonna push on what these terms develop into as a human brain. Yeah, as a man brain, I would say. Yeah, so we're gonna start off, yeah, with, or I'm gonna start off, yeah, with the back lobes, which is the mesencephalon, yeah, the metencephalon, and the myelencephalon, yeah, because I'm just gonna have to do this back to forth, yeah, so you can understand what the mesencephalon and the metencephalon and the myelencephalon turns into is what you call the brain, your brain stem, yeah, and what you call the cerebellum, yeah. So this is what these 3 terms develop into, yeah. So, yeah. So the brain stem is composed of 3 departments, yeah, and then the spinal cord, and the cerebellum just comes off the side. This is how it looks like, yeah. I'm gonna break it down, yeah. So this is your mesencephalon, your metencephalon, and your myelencephalon, yeah. This is what they develop into in a human's brain, yeah. These are parts of your human brain that we're breaking down right now, yeah. So the mesencephalon, yeah, turns into your midbrain, yeah. This is these 3 components here, yeah. These 3 components, yeah, are what you call brainstem, yeah. Your brainstem, yeah. And your mesencephalon part, yeah, is what you called the midbrain, yeah. So this is what it turned into. I hope everyone can hear and clearly understand, yeah. So this is how I'm breaking it down, yeah. The mesencephalon turns into your midbrain, yeah, and you got the metencephalon, yeah, or the myelencephalon, turns into what you called, yeah, your pons, and the medulla oblongata. My pronunciation might be bad here, but the metencephalon turns into what you called the pons, yeah. The metencephalon turns into your pons, yeah, and also your medulla oblongata, yeah. So that's what the metencephalon turns into, yeah. This is all part of your brainstem, yeah. And the last but not least is what you called the myelencephalon, yeah. The myelencephalon turns into what you call the cerebellum. The cerebellum. Yeah. The myelencephalon turns into what you call the cerebellum, yeah. The mesencephalon turns into your midbrain. The metencephalon turns into your pons and the medulla oblongata, yeah. And the myelencephalon turns into your what you called your cerebellum, yeah. So we'll understand the breakdown, and then we're gonna talk straight more, push more. So we're gonna break. Oh yeah. So yeah. So this is what you called. So these are the mesencephalon, the metencephalon, the myelencephalon. This is what it turns into. It's turned to your brainstem and your your cerebellum, yeah? I'm going to break down all these functions a little bit later, but I just want to show you what's going on. So we're going to jump straight into what you call the diencephalon, yeah? Yeah, because you got the telencephalon first, yeah? And then you got the prosencephalon turns into your telencephalon and your diencephalon, yeah? And then you got the mesencephalon, and then you got the metencephalon, and you got the myelencephalon. We broke down the mesencephalon, the metencephalon, and the myelencephalon. So now I'm going to bring things to the diencephalon. The diencephalon, yeah, breaks into these components, yeah. So this is the diencephalon, yeah. These are the components that it breaks into, yeah. First you have the thalamus, yeah, the thalamus. Then you got the hypothalamus, yeah. Then you got the epithalamus, yeah. And then you also have your mammary brain and your limbic system, yeah. So we're gonna break down that. This is in the diencephalon, yeah. As you can see, the thalamus, the hypothalamus, the epithalamus, and you got the mammary brain, and you got the limbic system, yeah. So I'm gonna break down the thalamus, yeah. The thalamus is involved, yeah, and what it does and functions on receiving messages, yeah. So the sensory input, yeah, from the peripheral system and the motor signals get sent to the thalamus, yeah, and what it does, yeah, it collects the data and then it sends it to what you call the cerebral cortex. We're going to talk about the cerebral cortex on the next one, yeah, on the telencephalon. Yeah, so this is what the function of the thalamus does, yeah. It receives the messages, yeah, the sensory input and motor signals, and it sends it via to your cerebral cortex, yeah. And it also, yeah, because the thalamus is made up of mostly grey matter, yeah. Grey matter, I'm gonna talk to you a little bit more of grey matter and white matter, yeah. But for the thalamus, because the fact that it's made up of mostly grey matter, yeah, it holds awareness, yeah, holds consciousness, yeah. So I'm gonna break down grey matter and white matter a little bit later. No, probably on another episode, yeah. So thalamus it's made of a white matter and it controls the central central input and the motoring output, yeah, and sends it to the cerebral cortex, yeah. And then now you have the hypothalamus, yeah. The hypothalamus is in control of your daily activities, yeah. So we're talking about eating, sleeping. So it probably, like, when you eat, it releases the salivary glands with the enzymes and all that. This is all done by the hypothalamus part of your brain, yeah. Sleeping, what else? Just the daily activities, yeah, that your body goes through. It's controlled by your hypothalamus, yeah, part of your brain, yeah. And then you got the epithalamus part of your brain, yeah. The epithalamus part of your brain, that functions, yeah, the secretion of melatonin, yeah, to your pineal gland. So now the epithalamus, yeah, has control of certain functions, yeah. It has control of what you call the limbic system, yeah. So limbic system is the limbic system has what you call the reptilian brain, yeah. So the reptilian brain, so this deals with mostly emotionals, yeah, emotions, high emotion, like fast response or first hunger. So the response and the emotions that you would get from the limbic system is like you get anger, yeah, you get fear, yeah, and it also deals with survival tactics, yeah, like from where you're taking care of your kids and everything, to fighting, you know what I mean, fight or flight. This is all done within your limbic system, yeah. This is all in the limbic thalamus area, yeah. This is what it functions, yeah. It also has the pineal gland, which will also secrete melatonin for it, yeah. So this is in the epic system, yeah. You got the mammary brain, yeah. This is like the mammal brain. So this is the caring part of your brain, yeah. So and the nurturing side of your brain. So these are the functions. This is all in the diencephalon part of your brain, yeah. So that's the basic functions of these terminologies that I just broke down, yeah. Yeah, so these are the area, yeah. So I'm gonna push on. There's a lot of information, that's why I write it down, so you can just go back, reference and source, and then read back a little bit more, because I'm only gonna give you the introduction of what I'm breaking down. But this is the main functions of your brain. You know what I mean? From when you understand these areas, you understand if anything goes wrong, you will know where that the defective area is, because most of the studies about brain is because it's through the damages, it's through the damages of the brain. That's how they have learned what works with what and what does what, yeah. So now we're going to straight onto the telencephalon, yeah. The telencephalon, this is the main part of your brain now, yeah. The telencephalon, yeah. The telencephalon controls what you have now, yeah. You have the frontal lobe, you have the parental lobe, yeah. You have the temporal lobe, and you have the occipital lobe, yeah. And you also have other factors like, yeah, I'm gonna break down the other factors, yeah. So these are the main ones, yeah, that you wanna be the main ones that you want to learn about, yeah. So you got the frontal lobe, you got the parental lobe, you got the temporal lobe, and you got the occipital lobe, yeah. So the frontal lobe, yeah, is where all the consciousness, awareness, yeah, your voluntary movement functions, yeah. This is in the temporal lobe, yeah. No, the frontal lobe, yeah. It controls all your awareness, your it deals with, for one, it deals with language as well, spoken as well, because in that area it harbors what you call the Broca's area, yeah. The Broca's area is where how you can communicate and how words come out your mouth. This is through the Broca's area, yeah. So the frontal lobe has that as well. So if it governs speech, it governs what else does it govern? It governs something what you call is exclusive functioning, yeah. Exclusive functioning is where where you're able to make judgment, judgment. You can plan, you can organize. This is all done by the frontal lobe, yeah. This is where all your main hypothetical functioning occurs in your frontal lobe, yeah. So now we're gonna push on to what you call the parental lobe, yeah. This is what deals with all your brain pressure, yeah. This is what, so when you feel pain, yeah, it goes straight into the parental lobe, yeah. This is where you find that where you get harbors all the sensory input of pain and pressure, yeah. That goes straight to the parental lobe, yeah. You got the temporal lobe. The temporal lobe harbors what you called the temporal lobe harbors. Oh wait, let me think. Temporal lobe. Okay, temporal lobe deals with audio frequencies, yeah. So communications, yeah, words travel through frequencies, yeah. It goes into your eardrum, yeah, and I'm gonna speak about how it turns into vocal or sound, yeah. This is done in the temporal lobe. Temporal lobe is where you decipher the frequencies of words and sound, yeah, and then puts them into what you can understand to communicate back. This is done by the temporal lobe, so it's audio, frequency, and situations like that. Now you got the occipital lobe. Occipital lobe deals with vision, yeah. So the reason why you can see, again, is something to do with the frequency waves of colors and reflections and everything, yeah. The higher the deeper the color, the more deeper the wave of frequencies. The lower the color, the lower the rays. This is how it's determined. This is all done in by the occipital lobe, yeah, of the reason why you can see, yeah. So if it these functions, these are all different parts of your brain. I'm going to be showing you diagrams and showing you where they're harbor, yeah. So these are all what is important, especially when it comes to temporal lobe as well, with the audio as well. There's something called the awareness area within that region, you know what I mean. So that deals with the understanding of words and languages, yeah. So that's the breakdown and the full function of the brain now, yeah. So I'm going to show you and talk a little bit more on diagrams, yeah. But I just done the breakdown, and then within the temporal lobe, you'll have parts of the hypothalamus area, yeah. So you have all the emotions. This deals with emotions as well, and emotions and reactions like fear or fight or flight, because it had within that region you will find the reptilian and other part of the brain, like for example the hippocampus, that deals with short memory and learning. That's found in the temporal lobe, yeah. And then the abnagala, yeah, which deal with fear, fight and flight, is all found in the temporal lobe. So the temporal lobe functions a lot of stuff. The frontal lobe holds and functions a lot of stuff as well. This is just what I just broke down for this diagram in this episode, yeah. So I'm going to break down a little bit more so you can start seeing these diagrams actually on the brain, yeah. And if I missed out anything, hopefully this diagram would help, and I can break it down a little bit more, because I do feel that I missed out a couple of things, but we're going to look at it and then we're going to speak about it a little bit more. So the midbrain, did I speak about the midbrain? We're going to break down the midbrain a little bit more, because I don't know if I missed it, but the midbrain is in what you called the mesencephalon, yeah. Oh yeah, I think I definitely did miss out the midbrain. The midbrain, yeah, did I break down the cerebral as well? Cerebellum. I ain't too sure, but I'm gonna go through some of the stuff that I forgot, yeah. So the midbrain, that deals with all the sensory inputs, yeah, and it deals with, yeah, you know, like fast response reflex, yeah. So if you hear a noise behind you and your body reflects before you it understands what's going on, this is done by the midbrain, yeah. This is the top part of your brain stem, yeah. This is done by the midbrain, yeah. So the alertness, the aware, and the quick reflex is done by the midbrain. The midbrain is control of involuntary actions, yeah. So, and then you got the cerebellum. If I never broke it down there, that the cerebellum deals with what's cerebellum? Cerebellum does with precision, and precision, timing and coordination of the muscle activities, yeah. So I'm sure I never said this, so my bad, yeah. But this is back to the mesen and the myelin and the myelencephalon, yeah. I just need to break that down a little bit more, yeah, because I think I've left that. So the midbrain deals with the fast reflex to turn around, boom, or react or jump if they hear a loud noise, or if someone touches you without if someone touches you and you don't know who that person is, the natural reflex that that is done by the midbrain, yeah. And then what else it does it ciphers the information and sends it to the cerebral cortex, yeah. The cerebral cortex is all the functions of the telencephalon. The whole lobe of the telencephalon is what you call the cerebral cortex, or the neocortex, yeah, the human cortex. That's why you got the mammary brain that deals with all the care and the nurturing, and you got the reptilian brain that deals with thirst, do with hunger, you do with the cold-blooded, yeah. And then you got the the primate brain, which is called the neo brain, which is the whole region, yeah, where the frontal lobe is, the parental lobe is, the occipital lobe is, and the temporal lobe is harbor. This part of your brain, yeah, is full of what you call white matter and grey matter. We're gonna talk about the white matter and grey matter in another episode, yeah. So I just yeah. So that's the functions, yeah. And now we're gonna show you a little bit more of the diagrams, yeah. So yeah, the cerebellum deals with the muscular precision of your muscle movement, yeah, and then timing and precision and coordination, yeah. So now we're gonna go straight into some diagrams, yeah. So this end this. Come on, what is going on here? This is moving slow. All right. So first, I want to go into the loading, yeah. Just gonna show you the diagram and show you the diagram and show you certain parts, yeah. It's a little bit blurry now because I ain't got online, but I'm gonna show you what part I'm talking about. This is what you called, yeah, the frontal lobe. The frontal lobe is in that blue. The purple lobe is what you call the parental lobe, yeah. The green lobe is what you call the occipital lobe, and the orange lobe is what you called, yeah, the temporal lobe. The red part of it is what you call the cerebellum, and then the blue bit at the bottom is your brainstem. This is the part of your spinal cord, yeah. The spinal cord, the reason why the brainstem is more, is very active and quick on the response, and it deals with autonomic systems, yeah, it's because it's right connected. It's the first century. It's the first. It's the first part where your sensory input gets sent to by your peripheral system, yeah. So it enters straight into what you called your first the mandu ablagalon, and then you got the pons, and you got the midbrain, and then you got this the cerebellum, yeah. So, and now let's go into more diagrams so to show you what I've been talking about. Let me see. This. Man, nothing's loading up. Let me see. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna show you another diagram so you can understand a little bit. You got the thalamus and the midbrain, yeah, all functioning, because within the thalamus and the midbrain you deal with consciousness and awareness, you know what I mean. So they have their own motor that deals with their system, yeah. Okay. And then this is how the mesencephalon. Let me see, just break down there. Just have a look of the diagram to show you what I have been speaking on. So this is how it starts, yeah. Just for you to have an understanding of what's going on and what I've just been talking about, yeah. So I think Eazi done enough for this episode, yeah. The breakdown of the brain, because there's a lot of understanding, there's a lot of playback and watch, and then do your own research and study so you can understand a little bit more. But if you understand this, you know what the break is. So the next episode, I'm gonna be breaking down the white matter and grey matter and understand and break the understanding of how that has everything to do with your functioning of your brain and your awareness and consciousness, yeah. Because that would be a deep discussion. And for the fact that we're doing a discussion about the mental health, yeah, these are the regions where schizophrenia and other illnesses do occur, and where it triggers, and how it can be prevented or helped in scenarios of the part of your brain that I just broke down, yeah. So make sure you like and subscribe. Eazi does what it does. Salute all to the people. Yeah, let's start pushing. Let's start sharing out the knowledge, and then all appreciated. Yeah, so salute the team, Eazi's back again.